there, my fellow Reclaimers, and today we are going to be looking at a very interesting subject that hides in plain sight for the Halo universe, and that is, what is the Master Chief and the Didact connection? There has been a connection established as early as Halo 1, and what we are going to be looking at is, first off, we are going to analyze the evidence that the Chief and the Didact have some sort of connection, and then we are going to compare their stories and how it can affect the future of Halo, and how there is a very ominous connection between the Master Chief and the Didact. To be more precise, the ISO Didact. So what we are going to do is I am going to show you guys a clip from Halo CE, and then we are going to compare it to a piece of audiobook from Halo Silentium. And this will start off the first comparison, and we will continue, and you will be fascinated to see just how far that this Didact and Master Chief connection goes. Stay tuned.
And that's exactly what Halo is designed to do. Wipe the galaxy clean of all sentient life. You don't believe me? Ask him.
Is it true?
More or less. Technically, this installation's pulse has a maximum effective radius of 25,000 light years. But once the others follow suit, this galaxy will be quite devoid of life. Or at least any life with sufficient biomass to sustain the flood. But you already knew that. I mean, how couldn't you?
Left out that little detail, did he?
We have followed outbreak containment procedure to the letter. You were with me each step of the way as we managed this crisis.
Chief, I'm picking up movement.
Why would you hesitate to do what you've already done?
We need to go right now.
Last time you asked me, if it were my choice, would I do it? Having had considerable time to ponder your query, my answer has not changed. There is no choice. We must activate the ring.
Get us.
Now, as you will notice right there, Guilty Spark seems to be in shock that the Chief will not fire the rings because he had already done this before. Is this a part of Guilty Spark's rampantness? Does he confuse the Chief with somebody in the past? I don't think so, because if you will notice in this next upcoming clip from Halo Silentium, this very same conversation which Guilty Spark told the Chief happened. So now let's take a quick journey back 100,000 years, whenever our friend Guilty Spark was known as Chalkus, and he was having a conversation with the Born-Stellar Didact, otherwise known as the ISO Didact. Take a listen and see the connection.
Now, old friend, we have the most important job in history, perhaps in all time. You may very well outlast all of us here. You may see the new galaxy emerge. I stop and turn away, looking out of the Ark's citadel toward the now cooling forge and the mining site beyond. Tell me, Chalkus, if this was your choice, after all we have seen and survived, would you fire the rings? He does not respond. I don't know that I expected a response. It is a question asked by way of farewell, and much of his memory will be erased upon arrival at his new station in the name of compartmentalization, if ever the logic plague were to re-emerge. For a moment, I wonder if he will remember any of this at all.
Very compelling, isn't it? An interesting note to take away from this is that in 2552, whenever Guilty Spark addresses the Chief, he tells the Chief that his answer has not changed, that they must activate the ring. But in the original conversation between him and the ISO Didact, he refuses to answer, and basically gives the ISO Didact nothing but silence. So maybe the answer that he given was part of Guilty Spark's rampancy, or maybe after 100,000 years of contemplating his past, he had concluded that the rings must be fired. But the connection continues, even if this was just an illusion or confusion given in by rampancy of Guilty Spark. The connections must continue. We all know that the librarian implanted ancient geas into humans. This would eventually lead to a combination, as we've seen in Halo 4, whenever the librarian would tell the Chief that he was the combination of 1,000 lifetimes of planning. Now, one thing to take away from this is that one must remember the librarian was the wife of the Didact. If you are trying to make a super warrior 100,000 years in the future, implanting his geas would be a very wise move to take, because this would lead to great combat ability, because the Didact was the greatest warrior that the Forerunners had ever known. Now, let me ask you a question. I'm going to tell you a quick story, and you tell me if this is the Master Chief or the Didact story. A warrior rises and defends his people from those who seek to do harm to the ones that he loves. As he battles on, he is continuously scarred with his mind, and his war seems hopeless. He has one that he loves, and he is eventually betrayed by the one that he loves and locked away. As he is locked away, he is also rejected by his people and cast into exile. Am I describing the story of the Chief or of the Didact? Both of them parallel each other, as the Chief and the Didact stories seem to be intertwined. Now I am going to give a shout out to something for Halo 6, which a fellow subscriber on this channel made a very interesting discussion. Imagine if in Halo 6, after the Chief is battling Cortana, somehow the geas of the Didact is able to contact him, because I believe many of us agree that the Didact is not alive, maybe not in a physical form, but in some form he is still in existence. And as he battles against Cortana, the Didact whispers stuff into his ear, like, "I was also locked away by the one that I loved. They will always betray you in the end." Stuff such as that, which leads to madness, which in time could lead to a very interesting conclusion for Halo 6. Does the Didact and the Master Chief have a connection? I think it is very clear. Guilty Spark confuses them with each other. They have parallel stories that go throughout the lore. And last but not least, we all know that the geas, the librarian implanted into the Master Chief, contains many unknown gifts, one of which could be an immunity to the Flood, and we all know that the Didact is immune to the Flood. That's another parallel right there. So leave in the comments below what you think about this, what you think about this theory. Does the Master Chief contain some sort of geas or some sort of entity from the Didact that the librarian had implanted into him all those years ago? Please subscribe, guys. I'm trying to really hit that 100 subscriber mark, and any help would be appreciated. One thing that I would like to say is I would like you guys' input in the comments below on what you would like to see next on this channel. What are you interested in seeing? What theories or lore would you be interested in seeing me cover? Because at the end of the day, this is your channel for Halo news and Halo theories, anything Halo related, and I would like to know what you guys are interested in seeing in next. So please hit that subscribe button for all your Halo needs, and check out some of these other videos. I'll talk to you guys in the next one, and thank you.